Hi guys, welcome back to Vitale Style. Today I'm doing this, well, I guess it's not really a makeup tutorial. This is my Longwear, like summer-proof makeup look that you can wear in the heat outside, and it won't all sort of melt away into nothing. Now I have been wearing this look quite often, especially if you follow me on our vlog channel. You'll see like the face makeup is kind of the same because I've been using this specific combination if I'm going to be out in the heat because it just holds up so well. And so many of you were asking for me to share this with you, so I figured I would, considering it's midsummer and it's hot. And if you're anything like me and you're outdoors in the heat, then you want a little something that's going to hold up. So I wore this look yesterday at my brother-in-law, sister-in-law's housewarming party, and it just holds up so well. And if you're living anywhere near us, I live in South Jersey and it's really hot, then I'm telling you, this holds up. So I hope that you find this helpful. Now I apologize that today technically was supposed to be my Monday favorites, my weekly favorites, but I will upload those tomorrow because I really wanted to get this one out for you. So I hope that you find this helpful, and before I have anything else to say, nope, let's just go right into the makeup look. Before you even get started, make sure that you are moisturized and you're using a moisturizer that has SPF in it, because if you're standing outside in the sun, you do want to make sure you have SPF on, even under your foundation. And today I am using the Olay All Day Complete. That's what I'm using today, but I also use a CeraVe. And if I'm looking in the viewfinder, it's because I have now feel like I've upgraded. I have a monitor in front of me that's like technically my viewfinder, so that I can see what I'm doing and I can always make sure that I'm in focus, which is great. Now, also, make sure that if you're going to be filling in your eyebrows, I want to make sure that I'm using something that's really long wearing and that's something that's not going to budge if I'm sweating or anything like that. And I do love using my Anastasia brow pomade because that just really keeps my eyebrows in place. They don't move. I even swim with the stuff on. It doesn't go anywhere, which is amazing. So now that I have everything ready, I'm going to prime. And the primer I really like using if I'm going to be outside in the sun, it is the Hourglass Mineral Veil. I have so little left that I can't even pump it anymore. I just open it up like so. And then I use whatever I have left. I dot it all over the place. And then I blend this in with my fingers. I'm going to go in with my Armani Corrector. Now, this isn't really going to be focusing on the eyes. It's more going to be focusing on the face. For the eyes, truly, if I'm going to be at a party or anything like that, outdoors, and during a day, I don't really do a whole lot with the eyes, just simply because I want it to look really, I want it to be really simple, and I want it to look sort of effortless. I don't want to show up at a day party with a full-blown smoky eye. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep things really simple. I'm going to prime my eyelids using my Too Faced Shadow Insurance. And this is exactly the look I wore yesterday to my brother-in-law and sister-in-law's housewarming party, which they had outside. And then we all went swimming at night, which was amazing. But then I did take off my makeup because I don't want to swim with makeup on. So I do like to prime my eyes. And then I like using a really good base, like a cream shadow, and the one I'm using today is by Flower Cosmetics, and this is in the color Wild Geranium. It's kind of like a beautiful rose gold color, so really love that. And I'm using my Real Techniques Deluxe Crease Brush to pop that all over the lid. And then what I'm going to use over top of that cream shadow, and I really kind of feel funny saying this, but that's the name of the shadow. It's by NYX, and it's called Sex Kitten Bimbo. And I feel funny saying it, but that's the name of the shadow. It's a really sort of pretty pinky color, which I don't wear too often. And I'm using this on just a big fluffy brush because I don't want this to be super concentrated. I just want to have like a wash of color onto the eye. And then I'm using a little bit of my bronzer, which is the MAC Give Me Sun. Same brush. This is the E40, I believe. Oh, there's cream shadow all over my finger. Yep. Taper Blending E40. And I'm just going to pop that into the crease just for a little tiny bit of definition. And now that I have that done, because that's literally all I'm going to do to the eyes. Sorry, I was moving my mirror out of the way until I'm going to put my mascara on, but I'm not going to do that quite yet. I'm going to do the rest of the face. Now, the combination that literally stays put like you would not believe, it is the, and I know you're going to say like, what? MAC Face and Body. This is like waterproof, like budge proof, nothing's moving. And I like to add a little bit of the Stila. This is a Stay All Day foundation, just a little tiny bit, because while this has got great staying power, it doesn't have the coverage I prefer, and I want a little bit more coverage this time than my regular sort of 5 minutes every day get ready with me kind of look. So I'm going to use a little bit of that. I'm popping this on the back of my hand. I'm just going to do like about that much, and it's really liquidy, as we all know if you've ever played with this foundation before. And a little bit of the Stila Stay All Day, because this has good staying power as well, but it's not as good as the MAC Face and Body, but it does have better coverage. So as you can see, not much of the Stila and then the Face and Body, and I mix the two together, and the color also matches me really well. And then I'm just going to put that onto the face with my finger. And I'm using a damp beauty blender. I'm going to just tap this all in place. Great. Make sure you drag it down your neck as well. I hope that the color's showing up on camera, but it matches me perfect in real life, I promise. And now for concealer, I am using a concealer that I don't use very often because it is really heavy, and it does have great lasting power. It is the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. I mix together NW20 and NW25. One's too dark, one's too light. So when that happens, use a combination of the two. Now I have to say, the one thing I really can't stand about this concealer, and I think I've mentioned this before, is the applicator, like the container of it. I don't like that it's a little pump, because I always end up using way too much and then wasting it. Pop a little of that under the eye. See, there's always waste, because even if you just pump the smallest amount, you can never seem to use it all. Way too much. So I'm going to just take my opposite side of my beauty blender, and I'm going to blend this right in. And you could do, by all means, like the highlighting effect. In fact, maybe I'll just take a little bit of it, dab it on my chin and on my nose. It's a good concealer for highlighting. So all I'm going to do now is just blend this all into place with your beauty blender. Okay, now that I have that blended in, I am going to set my concealer. Now, even if you have dry skin, you should really always set your makeup, especially if you're going to be out in the hot weather, because it will make it last a lot longer. And the powder I'm using is the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder, and this is actually just an e.l.f. I think it's called a blush brush. Yeah, it's a blush brush. I use it to set my concealer, and then I just tap the extra excess in the lid, and then just dab it all in. And I think that really does help with longevity of anything. Anytime you set your liquids with powder, it makes it stay on a lot longer. So once you've done the concealer, I am going to set the rest of the face, and the powder I'm using is just my Laura Mercier translucent powder. I love this, and my big Makeup Forever Kabuki. Love this as well. Oops, sorry. And then just tap it in place. Don't rub, tap it all in place. And you can see that that kind of just like instantly got rid of a lot of the shininess, which will come back as soon as I go outside because it's in the 90s. It's really hot here. Okay, now it is time for a little bronzing, and I'm not going to do contour. I like to really keep things really simple and easy, especially in the daytime. If you're going to a party or something like that, you don't want to show up like looking like you're about to go out with a sculpted face and all that stuff. That's at least not my preference. But I'm going to use my MAC Gimme Sun with my Bobbi Brown blush brush, and I'm just going to just warm up the face. Make sure you also bring it down the neck. And now we're going to do blush. I'm going to use my LORAC Baked Blush. I don't know why it's called Baked Matte Satin Blush, because this is not matte at all. But I'm using that with my... I use this brush. Oops, there I am. With my Real Techniques blush brush, and I'm just going to apply this on my cheeks and then just blend it in. It's a perfect like summer peachy color. And you can see this has a really beautiful sheen to it, so you don't even have to apply a highlighter. So now the really important part, once you've done all of your powder, all of your liquids, all that stuff, you have to set your makeup. I'm using the Kat Von D Lock and Load because this definitely locks and loads in the makeup, which I love. It doesn't sort of refresh the face as much as the Urban Decay All Nighter does. But if you're going to be outside, chances are you don't need that. You don't want to like have a little bit of that dewiness. So I'm going to just spray this. I'm going to just gently close my eyes a little bit so that it sets my eye makeup as well. And then just give this a few minutes to set, and I like to fan it. Now you at this point can really do anything that you wanted with the eyes. You really could do some eyeliner, some liquid liner, some wing liner. I'm keeping it simple, but I'm going to give you a tip. If you are going to be doing eyeliner, make sure that you do a really long wearing cream liner or a really long wearing what's the word I'm looking for? Liquid liner. I preferred cream liner if I'm going to be out in the sun because I feel like it holds up much better than liquid liner. And also, don't bring it in all the way into your tear duct. Bring it in like 3/4 of the way in. Otherwise, if you start to sweat, or at least the way I sweat, I start to sweat right here, and then if I bring my eyeliner all the way into my tear duct, when I sweat, it gets all that gunkiness in the corner of the eye. You don't want that. So I just bring it in 3/4 of the way if I am going to be doing a liquid liner. Okay, that was fast. But I'm going to just curl my lashes using this is a Shiseido eyelash curler. And then I'm going to apply a couple of coats of my Essence I Love Extreme Mascara. Now, if you want to, you can use waterproof. I personally never use waterproof mascara because I find that when I take it off, I have to work really, really hard to take off my mascara. And then it makes my eyelashes fall out. So I never use waterproof, and I don't need to. This just works really well for me. And this is my favorite mascara. So I'm going to just do a couple of coats of that. And then I'm going to do my lips. I'll tell you what I did to my lips, and then we'll chit-chat a little bit. So this is the finished look. On my lips, I am wearing Revlon's matte lipstick in Pink About It. I decided to go with a little pop of color, but still keeping it somewhat subtle. I feel always, especially if I'm going to family parties where there's like older relatives, I always feel a little bit funny going in with a super bold colored lip, because then I feel like, I don't know, like my nonna would be like, what is on your lips? So I always take that into consideration. But I did want to do a little subtle pop of color because it is summer after all, and I wanted to embrace my bright colors before it gets too late in the season, and then it's into fall, which I love, but totally off topic. But anyway, this is the look. I can assure you that this will last you in the hottest, well, where I'm from, I'm from South Jersey. Yesterday was in the 90s and it was super hot, but we were outside, and I was in and out of the sun. I was in the shade for a little bit and then out, and then in and out, and then in and out. But the point is, it was in the heat and it just held up really, really well. The combination of the MAC Face and Body and this foundation, or my Estee Lauder Double Wear, which I would have used if I had the right color, but right now tawny doesn't match me at all. So I had to get a different color, but the point is, it would have done the job just as well. I suppose the tip I'm giving you is that if you use MAC Face and Body, just mix it with more of a heavy duty matte finish foundation, because if I were to mix this with like my Maybelline Fit Me, it's just too it's too dewy, it's too thin, it's not going to give me the coverage that I want. If I want a little bit of more coverage, then use this, and with a matte finish, sort of more long wearing, heavier foundation. And you see, I just used very little of it, but the coverage is exactly what I'm looking for. The longevity is on point. And yeah, for summertime, I do like to keep things, oh, I should have really wiped that off. For summertime, I do like to keep things a little bit more on the easy side, casual side, especially for daytime. And I figured this was a perfect opportunity for me to share with you what I use and what I wear when I'm out in the heat. So I hope that you have found this helpful. And like I said, tomorrow I will bring you my weekly favorites, and then I've got a couple of really cool videos planned for you. I think this week I'm actually also do my bridal makeup look, and I will share that with you this week. And then I'm going to try and do like a week in my outfits kind of video. So at the end of the week, we may do like a lookbook. So let me know if you're interested in that. I'm nervous because I know that my style might not be everyone else's taste, but you let me know if you want to see that, because I think it'd be fun to film. So anyway, hope you've enjoyed this spending time with me. Hope you've enjoyed this look. I'll leave all the products I used down below. Am I forgetting anything? No. And by the way, I'm pretty sure I was in focus the whole time, so I'm really happy about that. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye.